Welcome everyone to the debut episode of The Changeover on our brand new home. I am Marcus Thorne, your guide through the locker rooms and press conferences of the tour.
And I am Leo Sterling. Still trying to find a player who grunts like Lendl. Still failing.
Haha, still on that crusade, Leo. And with us for the first time, our new secret weapon. Elena, welcome to the madness.
Happy to be here. I am Elena Cruz. I used to build financial models on Wall Street, now I build them for forehands and backhands. I figure there's less crying in tennis, but I am prepared to be wrong.
Depends which player you're talking about, mate.
Exactly. Elena, it's great to have you. And it's fitting you join us for the launch of our new platform, secondserveaces.com.
It's why I am here. We're trying to move past the basic who won and what was the score of tennis coverage.
The idea is to blend the things we all bring to the table. We're calling it, and I love this term, translucent transparency.
What in the world does that mean? Sounds like marketing speak.
It means we're open about the fact that our platform is powered by some serious machine learning. We're looking at the geometry of the court, spin rates, shot selection under pressure, but we're not pretending a human element isn't interpreting it. We pair the data with, for lack of a better word, the aura of a match.
Aura. Right. I have seen the aura of a player who spent the night before eating a dodgy kebab. The spreadsheet doesn't show you that.
Which is where I come in, Leo. And speaking of dodgy situations, let's start with Dubai. Medvedev gets the title, but the whole thing was a mess from start to finish.
The final wasn't a mess. It just didn't happen.
Well, exactly. Griekspoor pulls out with a groin injury. And to make it worse, I was getting texts all morning from players and coaches stuck on the tarmac. Apparently, they closed the airspace for a while. Total chaos for anyone trying to get to Indian Wells on time.
Another ghost match. You love to see it. A trophy gets handed over, photos are taken, but nothing was actually won. There was no test.
I disagree. The test was the rest of the tournament. Medvedev won 5 matches to get there. Griekspoor's body failed its own test. My spreadsheet says Medvedev won the title.
Tell that to his accountant. The check for winning the final clears all the same. That's the only reality that matters for the prize money.
That's your problem, Marcus. You think in headlines and bank accounts. I think in muscle fibers. Griekspoor's body wrote a check it couldn't cash. That's the real story, not the trophy ceremony.
Okay, but from a ranking perspective, it's 500 points. Are we saying he should get fewer points because his opponent couldn't play? The system is binary. You advance or you don't.
The bookies weren't so romantic about it. All bets void. They seem to agree with Leo that a match didn't happen.
See, the money guys know. Look, it's just another symptom of a bigger problem, and Griekspoor isn't even the half of it.
You're talking about the wider injury list.
Of course I am. Look at Indian Wells. Krejcikova just pulled out. You have this massive, prestigious event, the supposed fifth slam, and players are dropping like flies before it even begins.
It's a long flight from Dubai, and if you're stuck on the ground...
It's not the flight. Come on, Marcus. These are finely tuned athletes, not tourists worried about jet lag. It's the accumulation. It's the whole season. The bill is coming, due for these bodies.
I will say, I was talking to a coach who will remain nameless, and he's convinced it's the balls. He says they're heavier, inconsistent from week to week, and it's wreaking havoc on wrists and shoulders.
Okay, but that's an anecdote. Is there data? Have we seen a statistically significant increase in, say, wrist-related retirements tour-wide since the alleged ball changes? Or is this just a theory?
This is what I am talking about. You can't put everything in a spreadsheet, Elena. I have been on the road for 1,000 days straight. You can feel it. The players are more brittle. The recovery time isn't there. It's a war of attrition. And the balls, the schedule, the pressure, it's all part of the artillery.
I am not saying he's wrong. I am saying I want to prove it. If he's right, we should see a clear correlation in the numbers. My family coached for 30 years. Leo, I know how to spot a player faking the stats, and I know how to spot a coach with a pet theory.
Well, while you two figure out the science, I will say this. The narrative is that the tour is a meat grinder. And that narrative sells. It makes the ones who survive seem like superheroes.
I will put the narrative in a box next to the claret. Let's see what the data says over a full season.
Haha, fair enough. You know, speaking of things that define normal analysis, what did you make of that exhibition in Vegas, the MGM Slam?
Don't get me started.
The young kid, Fonseca, beats Riley Opelka. And the format was 3 10-point tiebreaks. That's it. That was the whole match.
That's not a tennis match. It's a skills competition. It's a marketing stunt designed to create fake drama. You take away the grind of a 5-set match, or even a 3-setter, and you take away the soul of the sport.
I actually loved it.
Of course you did.
From an analytical standpoint, it's fascinating. It's pure pressure. You remove the rhythm of service games, and just jump straight to the highest leverage points. For a guy like Opelka, his biggest weapon, the untouchable service game, is almost nerfed. He can't just cruise for 20 minutes.
So you're saying the format itself is what allowed the upset?
It contributed significantly. In a 10-point breaker, one mini break is catastrophic. It rewards clutch returners and players who can step in and hit a winner on point 1. It's a dataset on pure nerve.
It's a dataset on a coin flip. Put them on clay in Santiago for 3 hours and see who has more nerve. It's an insult to the guys grinding it out in qualifiers for a real tournament.
But Leo, the narrative is fantastic. The rising Brazilian wonderkind, Fonseca, takes down the 7-foot American giant under the Vegas lights. That story has legs. It builds Fonseca's brand before he's even a tour regular. Narrative is currency.
Right. Well, I hope his brand helps him when he's playing a challenger in Kazakhstan in front of 3 people and a dog.
My model will probably be able to predict if the dog is paying attention.
Haha. I have no doubt. Alright, that's all the time we have for today. An interesting start to our new chapter. You can find our deep dives on all these stories and more at secondserveaces.com.
Go read them. Just promise me you'll do some push-ups afterwards.
And maybe check my numbers while you do.
We will be back next week. Thanks for listening to The Changeover.